It's weird when you say I love you to someone, you can't say goodbye anymore. Like, that's off the table. If you're like leaving and you say goodbye instead of I love you, it sounds like you're telling them to fuck off. You know? So like, I live with my boyfriend and I'll like, leave the house, to get away from him. And so I'll just be like, okay, I'm going. I love you. And then I'll leave, right? And then, like, God forbid I forget something and I have to like go back in and do it again and just be like, oh, I forgot my wallet. I love you. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to lie every time I leave my house. It's fine. He got so fat over the pandemic too. I mean, it's fine. I know like everyone did, but I didn't. I had to figure out a way to trick him into working out, and this will work on any man, okay? Like, let's say you want a man to do push-ups. All you have to do is do push-ups in front of him wrong. Every fucking time. Every time. I was doing them, my boyfriend sees me doing it, he's like, he hadn't done them in like 6 years by the looks of it, and he's like, that's not how you do it. Next thing you know, he's like on the floor, like pressing them out himself, and I'm just like, okay, show me again. How about you show me 100 more times every morning? How about next you show me how to make more money than me, you broke piece of shit? So poor. So poor and fat. Sorry. I'll probably marry him. Give up. What am I doing? I've lived in New York for 14 years. I've already fucked all of you. Like, not individually, but in general, like, I get it. Like, there is nothing anyone in here could do that would surprise me in bed. I was once having sex with this guy, and in the middle of it, he started barking like a dog. But, like, sexy. He was like that. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you trusted me with that. I am gonna run straight to a microphone with this shit. Fucking freak. I didn't know what to do, because I'm used to fucking people. Like, what's the fantasy? I'm a girl getting banged out by a dog. Pass. So I'm just like, I was like, I don't know, the only way to make it like not weird bestiality fantasy is I'm also a dog. So I'm just like sitting there trying to muster the courage, just be like, bark. But you know when you're fucking a dude and he's barking like a dog? And it's your turn to bark and you can't. I don't know what to do either, so I just ended up dating him for 6 months. They're not all fairy tales. I was raised by my dad. It's a weird situation. When I was in high school, I was working on an English paper. There was an argument paper. An argument paper is where you pick a controversial subject and you pick one side of it to argue, and that's the argument paper. Right, so I picked the topic of fertility drugs. I was anti-fertility drugs. I was like high school, just like super angry. I'm like, if you can't procreate naturally, then nobody needs you or your science fiction baby, or whatever. Just like so angry. My dad looks over my shoulder, starts laughing at me. And he's like, Myka, if it weren't for fertility drugs, you wouldn't be here. I had no idea. I was like, wait, Mom took fertility drugs and that's why I'm alive? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, damn, you just gave me my closing argument. If it weren't for fertility drugs, I wouldn't be stuck on this miserable planet until I'm not knowing the circumstances around my existence until I'm already writing a paper against it. Print. Just wrote that by hand and printed, you guys. Cool. I'm from Arizona, so I've done cocaine with my dad. You guys like cocaine?
Yeah.
Meet you by the bathroom, bro. I don't even get cocaine's popularity. I haven't had fun the last 40 or 50 times I've done it. I can't say no to it. I physically can't. You could offer it to me on a spinning bike tire. I'd be like, I got it. I didn't mean to do coke with my dad. That was kind of a Thanksgiving miracle. I was home for the holidays, and I'm snooping through my mom's old closet. My parents are divorced, like I said, and she left a lot of really cool stuff behind. She was out in a real rush. So I'm looking around, and I find this Coke mirror that hadn't been there before. And I know it was a Coke mirror because it was huge and it was covered in Coke. But, you know, I make sure I see what I'm seeing. I'm just gonna walk away. So I start doing gummers off of it, like it's my last day in Los Angeles, just like, you know, like I've got like half a Frasier spec script written. And then my dad shows up in the closet doorway and I'm like, oh no, I'm busted. And then I'm like, no, you're busted. You know, like, you're the one who raised a daughter who's licking a cocaine mirror. And he's all like disappointed. He's like, oh, you like cocaine? I'd be like, yeah, everybody does. And then he surprised me. He's like, well, do you want to do some? And I'm like, no, just give me some. You know, like, I'm not going to do coke with my dad. That's so grimy. You know, because you know when you're doing coke regular style, not with your dad? You're at a bar and you're all laid out. You start saying crazy shit you would never say if you were sober, you know, just like all this stuff comes out. Like, you go up to people and you're like, you know, I was a virgin when I graduated high school and now I only fuck professional hockey players. Or like whatever's weird. So I was like, I can't be on coke around my dad. That conversation could get super weird, but he was like really insistent. He's like, the first round's free. I'm like, fine. So next thing you know, he and I are raking lines on the poker table that counts as a dinner table when you're a divorced dad. And we have that weird cokey conversation. It's horrible, just like line after line. He's like, remember Mom? The hell was that about? You know, we gotta get the family back together, Dad. Thank you guys so much. I'm Myka Fox.